This is one of the most important steps that you are going to take on your freedom journey. It all begins with you, continues with you, and ends with you. You are the one that is creating your reality, and only you can ever get rid of your own karma. It's an incredibly easy and yet debilitatingly hard thing to do, because when you are going to be going through this exercise, you are going to be reliving all of the trauma, all the unfairnesses, all the anger and guilt and fear of the past. But it's a necessary process for you to go through in order to get to the level of health that you are seeking to get to. The first step is to find a quiet place. Get a notepad or sit by your computer. When you sit down, breathe in deeply and focus on your breathing as you do so. Begin remembering your whole life from the day that you were born. Write down everything about your life, whatever comes to mind, all the negative experiences that you have ever had. Just start writing them down. Allow everything to pour out of you, all the thoughts, all the emotions that you are going through. Whether you believe that someone has done you wrong or not, write down all the negativities about that person, what you feel and why you feel that way. Go through each and every single emotion and keep writing it all down. You are probably going to find yourself crying or being angry or being sad, and that is good. You need to release all of this pain that you have been carrying with you, that has been weighing you down all these years. If there was something that you wish to say to someone at that moment in time, you're going to need to release that now. Speak out loud. Pretend that that person is standing there and tell them all that you wanted to say. This process may take you a few days to complete, or a few hours. Layer by layer, you must write everything down, all of your pain and all of the emotions associated with this person or situation. Take your time. Rushing through this process is not necessary. Take as much time as you need. One of the most important steps here is to forgive. Once you have released this situation, you need to consciously analyze the reasons behind it. Have you acted in some way to attract this situation to yourself? What was the other person trying to teach you? Try and remember and understand that even if the situation was dire, there must have been a very valuable lesson for you in that situation. Even if you perceive the person to be your enemy, it is only a perception, as each of us comes into this life to teach the other person something and to be taught by others. Even if you think that another person was causing you harm, and even if they were, the point of here and now is not to keep holding on to this situation or feeling, but to completely and utterly let go of it. You need to consciously forgive this person, and to do so, you must understand deep in your heart that everything that we are going through here is an experience, that we are not enemies to each other, but teachers, helping our souls to ascend higher and higher. Some of us take on roles of evildoers, and that is a very painful role to play, as mostly these people are disliked by everyone because they push us to do certain things that we wouldn't have otherwise. For example, how many times have you had an evil teacher or a boss give you a bad grade or yell at you at work or push you, and how many times did their prodding and pushing create an environment from which you simply had to run? You had to do something to change your life, because what they created for you was a very sharp nail on which you no longer could sit. Sometimes the worst people in our path are the best things that could ever happen to us, as they push us in the right direction and teach us by doing so. So it is incredibly important for you to forgive them, not for their sake, but for your very own, because whatever you think of them doesn't matter to them. What matters is what you think about any given situation. And if you stop dwelling on the past, if you stop living in that moment of pain, but release the trigger and move on with your life, you will no longer be plagued by these painful memories. Another example of letting go of the trigger would be if you were dating someone and you had a special song. You then had a terrible fight and broke up. Say you loved that person at the time and thought you could not be without them, but you broke up. Years went by, and all of a sudden you found yourself listening to this song on the radio. If you did not deal with your emotions back then, and did not let go of all the perceived pain and suffering that you went through when you broke up, that song on the radio will start to tear you apart again. But should you have let go of all the painful emotions and simply looked at it as a very interesting experience that you've had that propelled your soul further, you would then have listened to this song and either not paid attention to it at all, or had a bittersweet smile on your face, remembering the past for a moment, being grateful for that experience, and moving on with your day without being paralyzed with anger, sadness, and self-pity. All of these are just simple examples of what each of us goes through each day, but it's important to apply this to your own experiences at all times. The next step in the letting go process is as follows. Once you write everything down and release each and every single situation from your psyche, it's time to wrap it up. Do not reread what you wrote. Never reread it. You do not need to keep going through these experiences. You need to do this one time and fully release yourself from everything. Start with age 1 to the present and keep going and never look back. Once you are done and there is no longer anything left within you, continue to the next step. Now that you have expressed your intention, the next step is to fully let go of these feelings and emotions in relation to everything that you have projected onto the paper. Whilst holding these papers, say the following words. I am deleting these emotions, feelings, acquired emotions, and feelings from my life, now and forevermore, now and forevermore, without any judgment for all involved, without any fear, for fear does not exist. Only love exists. I am sending these words into the light for healing and transmutation, for healing and transformation, for healing and love, and to the Father and Mother of all the creation, to the source of all that is. And in return, I ask to be blessed with abundance on all levels, love on all levels, peace on all levels, gratitude on all levels, and everything else I wish and stand for and believe in. For I am pure, for I am the violet flame, for I am love, for I am perfect, for I am powerful. powerful, for I am love itself and goodness itself, for I am loved, and loved I am. To make it easier for you to repeat these words, following this lesson, you will see a printout of what I have just said, so that you can print it out and place it in front of you to read the words as you say them aloud. After you repeat these words, take these papers and set them into your sink. Any sink will do, a bathroom or a kitchen. Once you place these papers into the sink, then light them on fire. If fire gets out of hand, you can always splash water on it in order to stop it. As the papers burn, keep thinking that you are releasing all of this anger, frustration, misunderstanding, jealousy, greed, fear. All the negative emotions are being cleansed out of you, and that they are being transformed by fire and taken into the light, where they will be cleansed and returned back to you as joy, happiness, prosperity, love, understanding, humility, balance, harmony, passion, and abundance. Once these papers finish burning, you will have only ashes remain, which you are to throw into the garbage bin or bury them into your backyard, as this pile of dirt no longer belongs to you. Now wash your hands and take a shower. It is highly important for you to take a shower following this ceremony to allow the water to carry away all the debris on the energetic level. Following this procedure, you will find yourself feeling lighter and happier. However, the cleansing and purification process does not end here. You will feel the tremendous release once you do this exercise, but there will always be more to cleanse. And it is important to understand that healing and remembering are not an instant thing. It took us years upon years to build these layers around our auric and energy fields, and it will take us some time to release all of these patterns. Add to that the genetic makeup of your body, and you will understand just how much cleansing you are going to need to do. There are many different reasons as to why we are allowing to be influenced by genetic makeup of our bodies, one of which is the amygdala. In the next lesson, we will talk more about what that is and why it is so important for us. In the meantime, please see the printout of step-by-step instructions as to what you are to do now, and only move forward once you are done with the letting go part. And I will be waiting right here for you to continue.